Welcome to Behind the Wire, the official podcast of Pee Dee Electric. Each episode connects you to the people, stories, and innovations powering our communities. From exclusive conversations with cooperative leaders to practical tips that help save money and energy, we're here to keep you informed and inspired. Behind the Wire is your on-demand source for cooperative insight that keeps us moving forward together. Let's get started.
Hey everybody, this is David Spencer, your favorite communication specialist, and you're listening to Behind the Wire, Pee Dee Electric's new podcast where energy meets community. March is Women's History Month. It's a time to celebrate and honor women's contributions to our history, culture, and society. So today, we're honored to be speaking with Teresa Watts. She's one of our member services supervisor, and she has over 45 years of service with Pee Dee Electric. So there's a lot of history there, and so we wanted to take this opportunity to sit down with her. How are you doing, Miss Teresa?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Cool. Well, we're going to dive right on in. What do you remember about your very first day at Pee Dee Electric over 45 years ago?
Okay, well, I was 20 years old on my first day at Pee Dee Electric and very excited. I was very excited to learn and very curious about the company's operations, the nature of the job, and the potential for growth.
Okay, now did you start as a supervisor or did you work your way up?
No, I actually started as a billing clerk, and then I had the opportunity to be the member service supervisor. And so I've been there for at least 25 years and still there now.
Okay. And so evolution of member services, right? So I'm sure a lot of things have changed since you started 20 years ago. In your opinion, how has member service changed over the decades?
Okay, well, it's about the expectations of today's members, adapting to the times and members' needs. Members have so many options now, such as prepay, payment options, choosing draft dates, setting up alerts, texting, and the list goes on. We're so much more advanced due to technology.
And it sounds like there's a lot of innovation going on in that department as new things come available. It's just a good opportunity to see how these new tools you can incorporate in your work to better serve our members. And I believe our members are appreciative of having those options at their fingertips. What is the biggest change in technology you have witnessed?
Computers. We had no computers when I first started 45 years ago. And going from consumers reading their own meters to having our own meter reading system, and then finally smart meters. Years ago, our members had to actually write down their meter readings, and we hand put those in the system so we would know how to bill. But computers now have changed a lot of that system. And because of computers, we are more accurate now due to technology changes, which can actually save money for Pee Dee Electric, and saving money is passed down to our members.
Wow, I couldn't imagine having to go read my meter every month, and then that takes some trust too, and just time to get that information and input it accurately. So I could definitely see how computers have helped with that. And just in my role, I couldn't imagine not having computers. We do things with social media, newsletters, digital newsletters, and all these things. And so computers have really just become a staple in our business. What has stayed the same about serving our members?
Well, it's all about helping members and forming lifelong friendships and relationships with our members. We're always available to listen and help when needed because we are owned by those we serve.
I like that, and that's one thing that's going to be consistent in our cooperative values. Whatever technology comes up or whatever changes, it still is about the members and putting them first and making sure we are doing things to serve them and provide reliable electricity. I'm sure you've been through a lot of storms, and last week we talked with some of our foremen about some of the behind the scenes and everything that goes into that, and it's definitely a team effort. So you've seen your share of storms. What stands out when you think about major outage events over the years?
Well, one that stands out most to me would be the storm of 1989, Hurricane Hugo. Mm-hmm. And while working with our members, trying to get power restored and listening to them and trying to assure them that the power will be on as soon as possible, I think a lot of our members didn't realize that the employees, whether it was a lineman, member services, just the whole company, we were working 24/7 trying to make sure the consumers were made aware of any updates on when the power restoration would be and that type thing. However, for example, most of the employees' homes were without power at that time, and we were still able to maintain a positive attitude and give encouragement to our members. So we were on both sides of that spectrum there.
And I think a lot of members sometimes don't even realize that a lot of our employees are residents in the areas where these outages are occurring. So when their power's out, our linemen, our member services, our office staff, their power's out too. But we're still working, trying to make sure that power comes on. And so we're invested too in our ability to get the power back on. So definitely something to think about. Cooperative difference, we're different than some of our other utility providers in the area. What does it mean to you being a part of a cooperative? Why does being a cooperative matter?
Yes. A cooperative is a member-owned nonprofit utility that provides electricity to its members, prioritizing community needs over profit. For example, we're owned by our members, and we always keep that in mind when we're speaking with our members and any programs that we have, like the Care to Share, capital credits. Capital credits is very important to our members because the member actually gets back a small portion of what they put in.
Yeah, and I've witnessed that firsthand walking through the member services area. They're really committed to finding solutions when they're on that phone to really help the member out where they can. And so you really see that cooperative spirit exhibited in the culture here. And I think part of that is due to your leadership. You and Miss Rhonda, y'all do a great job of just really helping the girls out, coaching and leading them, and just making sure that culture is what it's supposed to be. How have relationships with members shaped your experience here at Pee Dee Electric?
Well, at the end of the day, I reflect back to make sure that I made a difference in someone's life, whether it was a coworker or a member. To me, that matters. And then when I'm in the community, it really gives me a sense of pride whenever a member comes up to me and thanks me for helping them with an issue, whether it's on their power bill or a power issue. So it does give you a sense of appreciation.
Yeah, and our annual meeting, you really get to see that. I've been to two now, and just seeing our members and how they interact. It's like a family reunion. It feels like they really know you all, and they come up and they're just appreciative of what we're doing for them. And so that's always great to see. What changes? I know 45 years, a long time. What changes are you most proud of being a part of?
Well, I'm always proud to be a employee at Pee Dee Electric, but there's so many changes. In other words, different ways to pay your power bills. You can pay by draft, you can pay by phone, you can go to auto pay, pay at some of our stores with cash. It's just there's just so many ways of doing things, whereas before you had maybe one or two ways. But we have the energy efficient loans, the rebate programs. We now have smart meters, prepay. Our outage map is a wonderful tool. Whenever the power's out, you actually can look and see the different areas, and it kind of gives you a sense of how long is it going to be before mine's back on, because I see they have several thousand or just a couple of hundred out. So these tools are very beneficial to our members. I think we appreciate it as well as the members.
And I like that because there's no two members or two families that's the same. And so having some different options to help the members better, serve their family, I think is helpful because, like I said, everybody is kind of going through this journey of life their way. And so having some options that kind of help them fit and get their bills paid and help them manage everything they got going on, I think it just helps us better serve them. So really good there. During Women's History Month, what does it mean to you to have built a successful 45-year career here?
It means a lot to me personally, and as far as helping our members. I just want to make a difference, and like I said, with my coworkers and the membership, just letting them know that we do care. PD is a caring company. And whenever I started back in 1980, bread was 50 cents a loaf, milk was $1.63 a gallon, dozen eggs, 84 cents, gas was $1.19 a gallon, and so on. But I have learned to adapt to change, just like our members can adapt. Of course, they seemed better and cheaper then, but were they really? I think as time goes on, we do improve more and more. And so that, I just want to make a difference every day and I want to be able to look back and make sure that I have been successful that day and at least help one person or one employee.
Oh, yeah. And I'm just thinking about to when I first met you, you was smiling and just really welcomed me here. I came from another co-op, and you really just welcomed me in and just really made sure I felt welcome and felt the warmth in the room. And pretty much every time I see you, you do that. And so I think you've done a very good job, at least with from what I've seen with employees. We all respect and just love being around you and having you in the room. The culture of Pee Dee Electric. How would you describe the culture here to someone who's never worked at a cooperative like Pee Dee?
Family, because Pee Dee Electric is my work family. We are a team. Although we go home to our families at night and the weekends, we still are with our Pee Dee family more hours than we're with our regular family. But and when I say Pee Dee family, we have so many consumers or members that consider us family also. And so the culture is very different as far as just getting on the phones and speaking with members. They do realize that we really do care.
Oh, yeah. And family is definitely a good word. And you can tell when the members call and come up here, the member services recognize them. They know them, and they talk about, how's your family doing, how's so-and-so doing. And so it's really very family oriented. You don't have that everywhere, and so I think we're blessed to have that opportunity here. How has working here shaped you personally?
Personally, I have grown a lot from being a 20-year-old, not knowing anything about the industry. I've learned so much. We have different programs here that actually teach us a little bit about what the linemen do, the right-of-way, engineering, just a lot of things you can't help but learn because you're here. You're in the middle of learning. So I've learned to be a better listener and develop more patience. And I practice patience and listening with my family as well.
Mm-hmm. I love it. So like we said, you've been here 45 years. When you reflect on those 45 years, what do you hope your legacy is at Pee Dee Electric?
Okay, loyalty and dependable. And I have two quotes that I use a lot in our member service department because I've learned them throughout the years and learned them actually in middle school. But one, a teacher always said, "Nothing beats a failure but a try." And then another quote that I really love, and I use it a lot, "If you don't ask, the answer is always no." And I would like I'm a Christian, and I would like for people to know that my favorite verse is, "I can do all things through him who gives me strength." Philippians 4:13.
I love it. Well, Ms. Teresa, it has been good speaking with you on today. This is, again, March is Women's History Month, and you have had a historic run, 45 years. That's a long time to be at any job, and so you've definitely made an impact here. And I know you're getting ready, you're pushing towards retirement, and so we're going to definitely miss you when that time's come, but know that you have definitely impacted everyone that you have came across of, and we're just very honored to work with you and be around you. And so congratulations to you, and keep plowing forward. Again, this is David Spencer, your favorite communication specialist, and you are listening to Behind the Wire, Pee Dee Electric's podcast where energy meets community. Listen, tell a friend about us. If you enjoyed today's episode, we have some other ones. Do check them out so that you are informed and inspired about your cooperative and everything going on. Until next time, we will see you Behind the Wire.
Thanks for joining us behind the wire. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow and share the podcast so others can plug in too. For news, tips, and updates, visit pdemc.com and follow us on social media. Until next time, stay safe, stay connected, and we'll see you behind the wire.